Now, first off, again, I'm going to start doing more of these, I guess you could call them, reaction videos, where I did one on the Act Man, but this time I'm going to start doing it for LevelCap, because LevelCap, well, he's not smart. He's one of those guys who writes things down on a piece of paper and acts like he just came up with them on the spot. He has to be one of the worst script makers in the world. Anywho, but no more about him. We're gonna get right into it, and we're gonna talk about LevelCap. He's got this awesome little video. We're gonna turn it up 360. Will be fine. You guys can basically, doesn't really matter. We're gonna close out of Facebook. Anywho, and we're gonna take a look at the video.
Hey guys, LevelCap here, and today I want to dissect the community's reaction to the Battlefield 5 trailer and reveal. Are people being ridiculous with their complaints, or has DICE made some massive mistakes?
I love how he asks a question. Have they been... Well, get on with it, man.
With the new direction of the game. I certainly think there's a bit of both going on here, and we can get to the bottom of this with a little bit of an...
In order to appease his community, which could be both, he's not going to give one end of the spectrum, he's just going to do both. Which ultimately divides your community up.
Analysis. So, what are the actual complaints to the trailer and reveal? Well, people complained about the cartoony, surreal nature in which
cartoony, surreal nature. Okay, continue.
Combat is portrayed. The fact that British soldiers don't look like British soldiers. The presence of
British soldiers don't look like British soldiers. I'm gonna look up British soldiers. That's what I get. Okay, let's try World War II. Are you talking about the hats? These crappy little these crappy little hats? Oh, that ain't it. That don't protect you from anything, that are meant for World War I. Artillery shells. Never mind. Let's continue.
Women in combat roles for the British Army.
Women in combat roles for the British Army. So you play Battlefield for realism. You guys are smart, right? Yeah, I'll play Battlefield for realism. I don't know anybody else who does that. Like, I don't know.
Removal of the swastika emblem from the German.
Oh, the removal of the swastika emblem, because, we'll just forget that, so many people died because of that emblem. Granted, I believe the hammer and needle would be removed for the same reason, but that's neither here nor there. They're a business, and people look at that a certain way. Let's keep it out of the game, all right?
Forces. Let's start off by looking at the highly cartoonish nature of the combat sequences. We have
it's a cinematic trailer.
The decorations on the tank, the female soldier dying and respawning, jumping out of a window as a friendly tank smashes through the house on either side, narrowly missing falling debris from the bridge.
It's a cinematic trailer, part 2.
Aircraft crash landing mere feet away.
It's a cinematic... You know what? I'm not gonna...
Car fortuitously falling on an enemy soldier. The sliding and hip firing of a MG-42. Grenades being shot out of the air and taking down a German Bf-109. And the V-1...
I'm surprised he even knows what a Bf-109 is, but, it's a cinematic trailer.
Flying bomb, throwing everyone through the air. All of this happens through the eyes of one character in a little less than 2 minutes of an uncut sequence. Right now, the trailer on YouTube is a 50% upvotes, 50% downvotes.
Because everybody's mad because they wanted to see actual gameplay. Okay? We get it.
Compare that with the Battlefield 1 reveal trailer, which has a 98% upvote rating. And
But there's nothing different. There's no difference between the BF1 reveal trailer and the other one, the BF5 reveal trailer. They're both cinematic, and there really isn't much difference. Who really cares?
Oh, that DICE made some pretty big mistakes with their new style. Now,
It's the same style.
video trailer is designed to show off new graphics and features. The Battlefield 1 trailer, even though it used many cinematic angles, it does start off with subtle text on screen that says game engine footage, meaning that the graphics and animations we see are actual in-game graphics, not exaggerated for the trailer. The new Battlefield trailer starts off with a Steadicam-like shot dynamically moving around the characters in an action sequence with no reference of whether or not it's actual gameplay or a pre-rendered sequence.
So
when we transition to the first-person gameplay, it's unclear if what happened before is a representation of actual gameplay or if it was just a cinematic experience leading up to actual gameplay.
they're both cinematic experiences. It's not hard. It's like determining what's fake and what's reality. Unless you are a 9-year-old kid, you should be able to know the difference.
Now, because the action sequence is one continuous cut trying to cram in a ton of new features, again it becomes unclear that what we are seeing are in fact new features or just part of this Michael Bay-like action sequence.
And I'm supposed to take this advice from a guy who uses the cavalry class. Moving on.
The point at where a soldier throws a magazine to our character is somewhat lost as a new feature because of this. The fact that you can now run and jump through windows or dive backwards and shoot a sniper rifle is also lost in this cinematic experience, rather than absorbing these as new gameplay features. Also, at no point during this trailer is there a shot or sequence of events that feels like it could represent real war, like a real World War II event. There doesn't appear to be any existence of front lines or tactical movements throughout a battlefield. It's just pure chaos in all directions. The fact that we see the female soldier die and respawn mid-combat several times creates a weird juxtaposition of trying to decide whether or not this is immersive combat or a casual session of multiplayer. And then, of course, there is the Mad Max look of our characters. None of them appear to wear traditional uniforms and are all wearing blue face paint. They seem more like cartoonish mercenaries instead of soldiers. Especially the fact that the female character has a prosthetic arm and a long brown trench coat and barbed wire cricket bat. She just looks so ridiculous and completely kills the feeling that this is somehow a World War II or a borderline authentic World War II game.
Okay, first things first. If you want a borderline authentic World War II game, you can play Heroes and Generals. No, for real, it's a PC game on Steam also, and you can also get it in browser too. It's called Heroes and Generals. HEREOS and AND Generals. GENERALS. Heroes and Generals. Battalion 1944. You want realistic World War II shooters? There you go. Alright? Battlefield is not realistic, and Battlefield does not have to be, quote unquote, the same as actual World War II authentic gameplay. The only people that have said that this was supposed to happen are these quote unquote fans. Alright? Battlefield Hardline was definitely not authentic to the cops and robbers theme. And there's these guys who are complaining about World War II Battlefield being much different. Oh my god. It's not the same. I want to be... Get over it, alright? Come on.
Now, many people, and even DICE, have defended the ridiculous nature of this trailer by referencing some of the crazy videos of past Battlefield games, like the iconic Rendazook jet shot and Flame Trooper standing on the back of a galloping horse in Battlefield 1. And yes, it is true that Battlefield games have often allowed for some crazy stuff to happen when people break the physics engine or push it to the extreme. DICE never designed Battlefield to allow for a Rendazoot, and they never designed the game to support flamethrower troopers to stand on horses. These are all emergent behaviors that people figured out they could do after launch. I've never seen somebody perform a Rendazoot while playing a game of Battlefield, nor have I seen a flame trooper standing on a galloping horse. I know it can happen because they've become memes, but in my hundreds and thousands of hours of playing Battlefield games, I don't see most of these crazy only in Battlefield moments. There are some cool...
Mainly because you rarely play Battlefield. Yeah, I said it. You rarely play Battlefield.
crazy moments that happen on occasion, but most of them are more believable, like shooting the pilot out of a biplane while I'm on the back of a galloping horse in Battlefield 1. That's cool. That happened to me in Battlefield 1, and I remember that.
Though, it happened to me cliche, so it must be possible.
But it was like a one-time thing. I know that's probably not going to happen too often for me in-game, and it's a special moment for me, but I don't need a trailer or a portrayal of Battlefield saying, look, these crazy things are going to happen to you all the time in-game. I want the trailer to show me realistic action, and I know that on occasion something crazy might happen. It's the realistic portrayal of the combat that appeals to me about Battlefield, and I think it's the appeal to many players of the game.
Realistic combat. Okay, sure.
Now, if you're a marketing guy and you spend a lot of time on Reddit or Twitter trying to get an idea of what Battlefield players like, you might forget that the majority of the Battlefield community doesn't play Battlefield for its wacky nature, but is...
A majority of the Battlefield community. You play on PC. Literally 11% of the community plays PC. 11. Yet it's the most catered to part of Battlefield. The developers cater their game 50% towards PC because most of the YouTubers you find are on PC, and that is annoying, alright? Most of the time when I'm looking up a news or update video, it's always a PC video. Why is that? When there's so little of the community actually playing Battlefield 1 on the PC. And if you don't believe me, I'll pull it up. Battlefield 1 stats. PS4, 33,000. Oh, I'm sorry, Xbox One, but that's because Xbox One is a piece of shit. 27,000 peak. 46,000 peak. I wonder who's playing Battlefield more. PC doesn't like Battlefield. PC would rather play Fortnite and PUBG. Most of the PC gamers, and that's probably a couple of you here, are sweaty tryhards.
Instead plays it for the immersive combat experience and team-based strategy. Aspects of Battlefield that this trailer make you question if those things will even be in the next game. If you have to question if something will be in the game, you might as well not get it. Alright? There's going to be teamwork as long as people are willing to work as a team. And that goes for any game. Call of Duty can do that too. There can be teamwork in COD. Easily. Whatever. The combat was even remotely strategic or realistic.
Strategic and realistic. Anybody else looking at the gameplay? Nice realistic gameplay right there. Yes, I play Battlefield 1 for realism, right?
And the characters and over-the-top action broke any sense of immersion.
I love how it fixed.
That's why I personally thought the trailer was a terrible representation of what Battlefield had.
Did you just mention realism and he was just like hanging on a wall?
It's always been about. And frankly, I wish this discussion...
You know what? He probably did that for a reason. You know what? He's not dumb, but he's definitely not smart.
Didn't go any further beyond what I've already talked about. But unfortunately, there have been some more petty arguments that I feel have muddied up some of the more important arguments being made about the trailer and the representation of Battlefield. Now, out of all the ridiculousness going on in this trailer, so many complaints have been about the fact that there's a female character fighting for the British Army and how that's not realistic. Now, of course, it doesn't help that she looks...
Who really cares?
more like Furiosa than a British soldier, I complain that she looks ridiculous, not that she is a woman. Plenty of women serve.
Number one, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you want to bring up the whole gender thing, fine, go ahead, bring it up. Don't play it, alright? It's not hard. If you don't like it, don't play it. And you know what? There's a saying. If you know you're not gonna like the game, and you like the past games, talk about it. Make your videos. That's fine. Go do that. Reach out to the people who make the game. But as the old saying goes, you can't create change if you adapt to change. It's not gonna happen, alright? If you don't like Battlefield 5, so be it. I mean, if you want to give it a shot, go do it, please. Give Battlefield 5 a shot, and if it's good, I want to hear, I'm sorry, Drax, the game is great. But if it isn't, you were right. I will definitely not deny it if it is true. I'll play it day one like I wanted to. But if it isn't, or if it is, I expect a formal apology, especially from LevelCap.
Served and fought in World War II, and even if they weren't prominent on the front lines of the British military, they certainly played a big role and even many combat roles for other countries. I watched an amazing movie about a female Russian sniper with 300 of the same thing. I have no problem with that, especially since I'm totally fine with Battlefield 1 using weapons that were never prominently featured or used during World War I, or even
I'm surprised he brought that up. Usually people just forget about it.
Other factions use weapons that they didn't really use during the war. When tons of German soldiers...
That's called gameplay. If you weren't able to use certain weapons because you were playing a certain team, that would be stupid. It's a game. It should be treated as a game. Alright? There's a reason why females weren't in Battlefield 1. Or except when they brought the Russians over and they had them in that. As scouts. Now, here's the problem here. World War II not only had more prominent females, but, I mean, does it really matter? A World War II shooter is much different than a World War I shooter. Alright? I don't even think women had the right to vote in the US at that time. And they had them, if they would have had them in gameplay content, that would be different. But in World War II, there you go. Give them that, at least. It's a game. Give the people who actually play the game, especially the women, their ability to be women. Alright? Come on. It's a game. If you're going for realism, go play Battalion 1944. I'll play it with you. I like it. I like realism. I like realistic content. If you want to play realistic gameplay shooters, I'll play Insurgency with you. Alright? I'll play all these different games. Just keep your ass off a battlefield.
Soldiers run onto Battlefield 1 battlefields using the Lee Enfields. You know it's not a highly realistic portrayal of the war, but at a glance,
that really didn't look like a Lee Enfield. I might be mistaken, but I thought it was a Caribbean. Sorry, if you guys don't know what a Caribbean is, I didn't know either. That would be this gun. It looked like this one, not the Lee Enfield. And I know it's like, I'm comparing games to games, but I'm pretty sure it's this gun right here. Yeah, it's that one. Right there. It's a Polish sniper rifle. But I could be mistaken, I could be wrong. Let's move on.
It can feel realistic.
I do like that weapon.
Between realism and fun is a balance in which everyone has to find their own personal preference.
There you
to
go.
Me, Battlefield
I agree.
has to feel realistic from an aesthetic perspective. If I look around and see British soldiers and one of them happens to be a woman, my immersion is not broken.
Exactly. There's a difference between if there's females on a Battlefield 1 landscape rather than Battlefield or Battlefield 5. There's a difference. There really is.
However, if I look around and all the British soldiers are wearing tank tops with blue face paint, then my brain goes, what war am I fighting in exactly? And
Nobody was wearing a tank top.
I feel like the ridiculous portrayal of the woman in this trailer is getting very much muddied up with the fact that she is a woman since Battlefield 3. This will make the game more open to everyone and force DICE to create awesome new content on a regular basis. The game will also be treated more like the purchase price. That way we will not see the majority of players running around with prosthetic arms or some of the more ridiculous face paint. Now lastly, as for the removal of swastikas from the game, from a
Who really
business
cares?
perspective,
Who
there
really
are
cares?
countries like Germany that have banned the symbol of the swastika.
Okay. Number one, I'm gonna make a reference to pro wrestling in this aspect. There's a pay-per-view called Elimination Chamber. They have to change in Germany to I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look up, here we go, Elimination Chamber. Alright, look at this. Elimination Chamber. And I know it's on a limb here, you know? But there's a reason why the swastika is not going to be in the game. Because, where is it? Actually, yeah, here we go. For Germany, it was feared that the name Elimination Chamber may remind people of the gas chambers used during the Holocaust. If the WWE have to change their name from the Elimination Chamber in Germany to say... Oh, where is it? We're gonna look up one here, see if we can find it here. Yeah, No Escape, here we go. Yeah, that's No Escape. If they have to change it for a pay-per-view title.
Either make multiple versions of the game or take the easier route and just remove it entirely. Especially since they're comfortable with bending the realism of the game with the portrayal of the characters. It
So what's wrong with the Iron Cross?
seems like an easy step to remove the swastika. The swastika issue can be seen as a little bit tricky because it doesn't, or rather it hasn't been removed in other games like Wolfenstein. The difference is that you play a character defeating or killing Nazis in Wolfenstein, and you're never wearing the swastika and representing the swastika. In Battlefield 5,
Why are you comparing the two then?
you will often be fighting for the Germans' biggest genocide in history, but people have these things called emotions, and simply put, there's just too much emotional pain tied into that.
Emotional pain. Yes. Now that's something people have, alright? There's a difference between being offended by something and something like this. Alright? The swastika shouldn't be in the game. From a gameplay perspective, from any perspective. It's just what I believe. So, I mean, if you want to put it in single player while nobody's a Nazi, go ahead, do that. Awesome. Don't put it in my multiplayer. Alright? People, I mean, there's a true meaning of the word. There's a true meaning of the symbol, and then there's the one that the Germans portrayed. These Nazis portrayed, so.
Simple. DICE knows they're not making a historical documentary or a realistic portrayal of World War II, and if removing the swastika opens the game up to a larger audience and mitigates them from having to deal with tons of social drama,
I didn't even notice that chick died, so.
then of course they're going to do it. You can argue the political correctness of this decision all you want, but from a business standpoint, it is without question the safer option, and frankly, I have no issues with it. Anyway, that's how I feel about all the Battlefield 5 reveal event drama. Hopefully I covered all the major issues that people were curious about. I'd love to know in the comments what you guys think and feel about the things I've talked about here. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap, signing off.